Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's DLloyd. So if you're a Houston Rockets fan, you should be rejoicing right now as Houston was able to trade away Ryan Anderson and that contract. They're able to trade him away to the Phoenix Suns. Now, what did the entire trade entail? Well, of course, they were able to trade away Ryan Anderson to the Suns, as well as second-round draft pick Melton. They're all going to Phoenix. Phoenix is going to be sending the Houston Rockets Brandon Knight, Marquese, and that is, I think, a very solid deal for the Houston Rockets, and I can explain why. Ryan Anderson, of course, 2 years left on his deal. He gets $20 million this year, $21 million next season. Brandon Knight also has 2 years left on his deal. He gets $14 million this season, and then he gets $15 million next season. So they both have 2 years left on the deal. Brandon Knight did not play all of last season with a knee injury, but Brandon Knight was also known as one of the upcoming point guards just a few years ago. He's 26 now. A few years ago, he averaged 19 points a game, and people looked at him as an up-and-coming guard. Of course, hasn't played last year. Then he started getting into some injury history. We don't know exactly where he's going to be, but going to Houston, it makes sense for them. You have a reliable point guard coming off of your bench. As for the Phoenix Suns, you take on Ryan Anderson's contract, which, you know, the reason why Houston didn't trade him before is because nobody wanted his contract. Ryan Anderson is an okay player. Nothing spectacular. You know, he's a 10-year vet. He averages 11.5 points a game. He shoots 39% from the three-point line with the Rockets. So he is a guy who can stretch out the floor for you. In Houston, he really wasn't going to see the court, if at all, because they plan on playing Carmelo Anthony at the power forward position, which means Ryan Anderson really had no use on that team. It looks as if the Phoenix Suns actually plan on playing Ryan Anderson. But when you trade away Brandon Knight, you now have absolutely no point guards on your roster. So expect for them to be hunting for a point guard before the season comes up. They need one desperately. We don't know who else they are willing to trade. Marquese, I don't mind that too much. Yes, he was the 8th pick in 2016, but he's only averaging 8 points a game. He can still have potential. As for, you know, the Rockets, they're just going to use him as a rim runner, essentially. That's all he's going to be in Houston, and maybe he could excel there. Really wasn't panning out for Phoenix. I don't mind Marquese at all being traded. Brandon Knight, just because you need a point guard now, that's a little bit hard to swallow. Maybe they think they could get a point guard cheap, and they very well may. But as of right now, I'm not a huge fan from Phoenix perspective. For the Houston Rockets, I think is one of the best moves they made all offseason. They haven't made a lot of good ones, but I think this is definitely one of the best moves the Houston Rockets have made this entire offseason. But you guys let me know how you guys feel about this trade in the comment section below. Did the Houston Rockets or the Phoenix Suns, did any one of these teams win the trade? Is it a wash, or did they both lose? You guys let me know how you guys feel about it in the comment section below. It's your boy DLloyd. I'm going to see y'all next time. Peace.